we're back with another mock draft Monday here on this Monday morning, Monday night, I mean, with my boys Drew and Zachary.
Thanks, Cobb. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Happy to be here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, let's get after it. I'm just loading up the screen right now. What picks do you guys want? Do you want to do 1, 2, 3 roto, or like how do you guys want to do it?
Do that. We can talk about them. I don't care, man. However you want to do it.
Let's do a 1, 2, 3 roto. I think that's the best way to do it. Sucks we couldn't get Aiden in here. He said he's tired. It's 8 o'clock.
Yeah, guy's coming off a bachelor party. He had too many strippers this weekend, so I'll cut him a little slack.
It's fair enough. Fair enough. Wow, my computer is slow today. Anybody want the first pick? Does anybody really want the Pats pick?
I don't care. I'll take it. Zach, do you want it? It doesn't matter to me, man.
Doesn't matter to me. You can take first. I'll take second.
All right. Yeah, sure. I'll do that. I'll do that.
Take third.
I mean, I
All
think he's an easy one pick here.
All right, I'll go 3. All right, sounds good. Who said they were 1?
Yeah, so right here, Cobby, right here.
All right, go ahead. Sorry, Mo.
No, man. I think it's Abdul Carter. I don't think there's anything to really talk about here. You know, best player in the draft. Kind of a standout guy here. Not a lot of good quarterbacks, but I think they go edge and take Abdul Carter.
Yeah, it's a weak class. It's a fucking weak.
Very weak
class. Weak QB class. I don't think the injury concerns are anything that too big.
Yeah, no, I think it's a weak overall draft. I mean, that's a standout guy, so I think you just have to take him.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. You know, they seem to be kind of scared of drafting a quarterback for whatever reason. Maybe they got like traumatized by Will Levis or something. But
they were also saying last week that the Titans have made edge rusher Harold Landry available for trade. Which
I saw
almost
that.
Makes it sound like they're making space for Abdul Carter.
Yeah.
For him to come in. And plus it helps free up cap space, and for a team that's rebuilding, they can get like a 3rd or 4th round pick for him, similar to what the Patriots got from Matt Judon.
Yeah, it's actually a good point.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
It's a really good point. All right, who was second? Was Zach?
Yep.
All right, well.
I feel like this one's a little bit up for grabs because obviously the Cleveland Browns have Deshaun Watson, who nobody wants to have. That's a lot of money to invest in a quarterback, and based on the status of the roster, it's going to be a long rebuild. Miles Garrett doesn't want to be there. There's a lot of shit going on there, but I feel like the first step for them to do a rebuild and move on from Deshaun Watson is to draft a quarterback. And I feel like the clear-cut consensus number 1 quarterback is Cam Ward, who I think the Cleveland Browns will be taking that too.
I completely agree.
Yeah, I agree with you, Zach. I mean, I think they're kind of in a bad spot with the Deshaun Watson contract, and I mean, they really can't do much at the quarterback position other than draft a guy.
Yeah, I mean, Deshaun Watson is not the guy. It's very clear.
And, you know, I mean, you could get Jameis out there, roll him out there another year, but I mean, that's just going to put you later in the draft next year, and I don't think you rebuild it all doing that.
Yeah, I agree. They got a lot of question marks there. I like Stefanski. I'd like to see him develop a quarterback from start to finish. I mean, he had Baker late, Deshaun late. You know, now he's getting a rookie QB. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. Let him get in there. Let him get his hands on a guy.
No. All right, Giants. This is such a tough one. There's so many rumors of them going after a QB in free agency. I just don't think they go. I don't think they go Shador. I think there's honestly a chance you get Shador in the second round. Like, I think there's like a good chance you get Shador in the second round if he starts falling. Which sucks.
There were a couple mock drafts pushing him to fall until the second round coming out of the combine.
Yeah. I think I might even rather have Jackson Dart over him just for his size and his arm. But for that reason, I'm going to go Travis Hunter. I think he's 2 first-round picks, man. He's so fucking good, dude. He's got that innate ability. QB1, he'd probably be the wide receiver too here, but they can get creative with him.
No, I like that pick, Cobb. Yeah, I mean, I think I realistically see Rodgers going there. Maybe. I mean, where else can Rodgers go other than the Steelers, or I don't even know where else. So
Rodgers, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
unless they
Rodgers.
take the Shador Sanders route, I don't know.
This is going to be the first big question of the draft, I think, because I feel like the top three picks are a mystery, but especially the Giants, because they at least have the potential to bring in Aaron Rodgers, whereas he's obviously not going to Cleveland. Tennessee's signaling towards getting Carter, having the number one overall pick to get generational talent. The Giants have an opening at quarterback, but at the same time, they also just need weapons and they need to fix the defense. And Travis Hunter potentially checks both those boxes for them.
Yeah, yeah. It seems like they need to get a QB this year, though. I will say that. I feel like it's kind of DeBall. DeBall had 2 bad years. Like they need to make a big improvement. They need something to build on. And Travis Hunter might
Yeah,
not
no,
be that,
no.
but maybe they get someone in
Oh,
free
he's another
receiver.
generational player, though. He's a guy who can go out there and change your franchise,
Yeah, yeah,
assuming he wants to be there.
agree.
All right, so what are we at? Fourth pick here for the Pats. So I mean, realistically, I mean we could trade back, but I don't think anybody wants to trade back in this. Nobody would trade back with us in this draft because everyone kind of there's not a lot of good players here. No one's trading up for a quarterback.
Well, if this scenario plays out, you could see either the Jets or the Raiders get desperate.
Yeah,
Yeah, one of the two. If one of them really wants Shador, I mean, I don't see the Jets going that route. I could see the Raiders go that route. But if it is the Pats, I mean, it's got to be Mason Graham or Will Campbell. I don't really love either one of them, but I'd say you go Will Campbell, and you got to protect your franchise guy.
Will
You know,
Campbell.
if you're not getting him a shiny new toy, you're gonna protect him a little bit. So I'd probably go Will Campbell here.
Yeah, I see a lot of
I
draft
like that
experts
pick.
going after tackle here. Um, I see a
Yeah,
lot of
people are
draft.
saying he's a guard tackle. Get him in there. Let's protect Drake May a little better. He was dancing around this year.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he had a great combine aside from his arm length, which was so fucking shit. But um, I'm curious to see which tackle goes first. He definitely has the best resume, but I don't know about the
Yeah,
best potential.
going against SEC D linemen all year. I mean, DNs and
Yeah, he's a beast. All right, Zachary.
This is going to be the first big surprise because when you look at kind of the needs of the Jaguars, you see it right here on Pro Football Focus, talking about center, guard, D line, cornerback. They need someone like Mason Graham. They need a corner. They need anything on the offensive line. Last year at the trade deadline, they traded their starting left tackle to the Vikings, Cam Robinson. They just trying to have needs all over the offensive and defensive lines. But at the same time, when you're talking about a quarterback such as Trevor Lawrence, who they invested a lot of money in, you kind of need to get him weapons. Because good weapons can overcome a bad offensive line to a point.
Mm-hmm.
And last year they tried to invest in Brian Thomas, who paid off. They tried to invest in Gabe Davis, who was dog shit. And then they have money tied up in Christian Kirk, and he's been kind of doing terribly for them. So in my first surprise here, I think they're going to go Tedero and McMillan
I
and
love
bring
it,
in
Zach.
another weapon for Trevor Lawrence because with a quarterback making $55 million a year, you need to surround him with young pieces to be able to offset that big contract.
I love it. I love the mix
yeah,
up.
that's it's a good pick. I like Tet. Big guy. I'm glad you're the guy saying his name. I don't think I can say his full name.
Yeah, I mean,
Definitely tripped me up at first.
the draft never goes as what you expect, and I could totally see Liam Cohen just going out here and let me just get another weapon for Trevor Lawrence, and I think it could work out.
I think you can too. I think they'll actually go with it.
Yeah, Gabe Davis is not a wide receiver too, and maybe they do go get another weapon, even though how good Brian Thomas looked. But
And as a Christian Kirk fantasy owner, I hope they don't take Tetero and McMillan, but you know what? I think that's what they're going to do because last year he was just awful. He was
yeah,
just terrible.
yeah, he was awful. Um, I've been going Shador here. I don't know if I'm gonna do it right now. Let me just talk this out. Maybe I'll figure it out. Shador. Know what I saw on DraftKings the other day was it was like plus 2,000. The Raiders draft Shador and his brother. What's his name? Shiloh. Yeah,
Shiloh.
yeah. I was like, that's a funny bet, but like, I could totally see it happening too. It seems like a Shador city. Um, but he does seem to be falling in the draft. Um, I'm gonna go Janty here. I'm gonna go
Oh,
Genty.
oh.
Um, he's such a beast, dude. They have fucking Sasir McCormick and Amir Abdullah back there. I think having a really, really good running back like this actually does make a big difference. Um, and he's a blue chip prospect when there's none left, really. Maybe Mason Graham, but it's really, really good.
I think
Yeah,
this.
I don't hate the pick there. You know, I mean, not a lot of incredible prospects here, so take the ones you can get. I mean, you're
And,
rebuilding from square one anyways with the Raiders.
and frankly, next year's quarterback class is going to be better. So taking
Yeah.
a pick like this can cement your team for the next 4 to 5 years if you're not confident enough in the quarterback staring you in the face. Plus, if the rumors are true and Shador slides, the Raiders have every opportunity to trade back into the end of the first round and still get their guy.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I agree. Not a strong draft, so they could get back in. All right, so that brings us to the New York Jets. They got a lot of work to do. I mean, new head coach Aaron Glenn. I mean, what does he want to do? You got some weapons on offense, but I mean, realistically, looking at a quarterback that's not there, so I think you go defense, and I think you got to start with the D line. You got to be able to stop the run inside, and I think you go Mason Graham. He's a big guy. I mean, what did he? I heard he went to the combine, and all he did was hit the bench press. I don't know
Yeah,
if that's
yeah,
true, but that's what I
yeah,
heard.
yeah. Dude, he's a bulldog. He's a
Yeah, I mean,
bulldog,
Cub,
man.
you probably watched him all year. You one of your Michigan men right there.
Yeah, he's a borderline blue chip prospect. He's if you're going best player available, this is the guy for sure.
And I think Jets got to do that. They're at a position where you got a lot of holes.
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers kind of nuked the franchise, and I think you just kind of push it off a year at quarterback. Or I mean, I don't know what veteran quarterbacks are left out there.
yeah, yeah. You
Maybe
really shore up
Sam
the
Darnold goes back to the Jets.
But it's like that's just be
dude. Can you
awkward. I don't
imagine?
think he wants to do it.
Can you imagine?
It's the
Who's
same owner, but a new regime.
That would
yeah?
be
Who's the
crazy.
offensive coordinator?
I actually don't know.
It
I was gonna
was
look that up too.
it was some no name when I saw it the other day. It was somebody that Aaron Glenn knows and has worked with before.
Okay, because the wide receivers coach in the Lions, he's the Bears offensive coordinator now, right?
Antoine Randall.
Yeah,
Sure.
He's the assistant head coach for the Bears. They have a different offensive coordinator.
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
I
Well,
like that pick
regardless, I'm
though.
going Mason Graham here.
Yeah, shore up that D line. Him and fucking Quentin Williams, dude. That's a really good interior D line.
That's a solid D line. That is really
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Need two of them. Need two of them. All right, Zachary.
All right, for pick number 8, the Carolina Panthers showed a lot of promise at the end of last year, but they still need a little bit of help to get over the hump. You could invest in weapons here for um Bryce Young. They have Xavier Legette. Adam Thielen looked good down the stretch. Jatavian Sanders, they invested in him at tight end in the second, or not the second round, the third round last year, and he actually looked pretty good in the time he played. But Carolina needs to shore up that defense as well. They got J.C. Horn at corner. They got Shaq Thompson at linebacker. They got Derek Brown at D tackle. They kind of need an edge. And
Yeah.
in this draft, it is very, very deep at edge.
So deep at edge, dude. You just got rid of Brian Burns. How are you going to replace him?
You
Which
got
one's
to
the
replace
best,
him
Zach?
somehow.
Which one's the best?
There's options. I mean, James Pierce out of Tennessee ran a 4.4 at the combine.
Monster.
Michael Williams out of Georgia is a monster. Shamar Stewart's a monster. Nick Stourton is a monster. The other kid out of Georgia is a monster. Jalen Walker. It's just tough.
It could go really any order. I really think
It
so
could go
too.
any order, but I think they're gonna go with James Pierce out of Tennessee. I think he's just the top edge rusher after Abdul Carter, and he can put his hand in the dirt and rush the passer and create a lot of havoc for Carolina.
Yeah. Super talented. Super athletic. I mean, this is a guy that, just like you said, ran a 4.4 as a D end. Problem is, he's a little bit light. He probably ran it at like 240 pounds, so he's going to need to put on 30 pounds. Does he keep that speed? I don't know. He's a guy that's been falling in a lot of drafts, in a lot of mock drafts, but he has the athleticism for sure.
He had a really good combine.
Yeah.
Yeah, who is that pick? I blanked there for a second.
James Pierce, edge out of Tennessee.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, me and Aiden were talking about that. Like, we don't understand why he's been falling in drafts, but I mean, he didn't really have the production, but dude, he's just so athletic. Teams draft talent. Teams draft high-end talent, and that's exactly what he is.
Yeah, these top 10 picks, you got to draft best player.
With that taken, could go O-line here. I'm gonna go D-line again or edge. I'm gonna go Shamar Stewart. I'm gonna rip the Band-Aid off. I'm just gonna do it. Just monster combine. This dude is a fucking beast, man. 290 pounds, and he's just moving like that. What did I? He ran under a 1.6 10 yard split, I think, and he's just dude.
Who was this?
Shamar Stewart.
Jamar Stewart at the edge. Yeah. He was
I think he
looking
made
good
himself
too.
a lot of money at the combine. So I'm gonna go him at
Yeah, I
9.
mean, whoever the Saints pick, I'm going to feel bad for because they're going to be bad for a while.
Yeah.
And they're in cap hell. They're like negative
Yeah.
60 on the cap. Like they're gonna like at some point they've been kicking the can down the road. At some point the bill comes due, and I think this is the year. Like
They gotta blow it up.
new head coach potentially moving on from Derek Carr, potentially moving on over half their defense, like Tyrann Mathieu, Cam Jordan. I think this is the year, and they started over with an edge.
Yeah.
That's such a tough head coaching job to take, too.
It is a tough head coach.
That's tough.
Job. I like Kellen Moore though.
Kellen
I think
Moore's-
it was a good hire.
I think it was a good hire too.
All right, so moving on to the Bears. I don't really see him taking a running back here, especially if Jainty's already gone. I mean, you got a couple problems to fill in. I think you can get DeAndre Swift another year.
Ben Johnson.
Not a critical.
Swift reunite. It's my fucking favorite thing ever.
It is kind of funny. He's a good running back too. You know,
He's
I
not
mean,
bad. I don't
especially
think
in
he's
like
bad.
that kind of offense.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely a comeback here for him. So I mean, who do you take here, Zach? How are their tackles? I mean, it says they need a center and a guard, but how? I think the whole O line's bad, right?
Their right tackle was drafted in the first round when they traded down 2 years ago and was like really the only bright spot on their offensive line. They could use an upgrade at right guards and center, like it's saying there. But realistically, you need a left tackle when you have a quarterback like Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
agree.
All right. And I mean, all right. I mean, I think it's Calvin Banks. I mean, I think he's the big guy, right? He's a big body. He's got bum knees, I think, right? But if he can stay healthy, he's a good pick.
Yeah, it's either him or Membu.
Yeah.
I don't know who's better, but
Yeah, Membu's been skyrocketing after a really good performance at the combine.
yeah.
Good combine. We'll go with Calvin Banks here, so somebody else can take Membo.
Did you see his 40? Did you see Membu's 40, Zach?
Dude, he was grunting. That man was working.
Dude, he was
That he was.
screaming. He's like, huh, huh, huh. It was fucking-
He sounded like that fucking tennis player who grunts all the time.
Dude, he like
Was it
was
Sharapova?
screaming.
Uh,
Yeah, it could be anybody. Yeah, Sharapova used to scream. Like,
could be anybody. Could be Jake Urell.
I know you grunt, dude. It's exactly what I sounded. That's funny though. Yeah, Calvin Banks the pick. Exactly. Sure up that O-line for your boy Caleb.
They have to.
Yeah, it's what Brian Johnson probably wants to.
Well, also, how's his hands? Because I mean, it's a Ben Johnson offense. I mean,
Yeah.
He might be able to catch.
That's actually
I
funny.
mean, can,
Yeah.
Sarkisian was coaching him up at Texas. He can catch.
all right. Well,
I hate Steve.
That's the pick.
Sarkisian. All right, 11. Zach, you're up.
Now, everybody knows I low-key am a 49ers fan behind the Patriots. Flew out to San Fran this year and watched them play in person, and my takeaway was their offensive line is ass. They
Yeah.
have all the offensive weapons you can want with a really terrible offensive line besides Trent Williams.
Yeah.
And about a
he's
year
36.
ago, he's 36. You need to start planning for the future. Mike McGlinchey was a really good right tackle for them. He left in free agency last year for the Broncos. They need to really shore up that offensive line.
I agree.
So I think the 49ers are going to go with the man we were just talking about who was grunting at the combine in Armand Temembu.
Yeah, he made himself a lot of money in that combine.
I think he shot from end of the first round up until the 49ers at 11.
Yeah.
He just fits right in as a plug-and-play right tackle for them.
Yeah, I agree.
No, I like the pick.
I think Will Campbell and Kelvin Banks are like borderline guards, but Membu can definitely be a for sure tackle. A lot of talent there. Yeah, I like the pick. I completely agree. Drop that O-line. You're gonna pay Brock Purdy a bunch of money. What you gotta do?
You need a cheap right tackle to protect him, who can eventually become your starting left tackle when Trent Williams leaves.
I agree. With the Cowboys, there's been a lot of rumors of Chandler Parsons getting traded. I don't buy it.
I mean, Micah Parsons, I think Chandler
Yeah,
Parsons
yeah.
left the NBA about
Yeah,
5
like-
years ago.
Chandler Parsons. Hey, good player. Guy can shoot.
I'm sorry. Dude, I'm telling you, man. I'm losing it. I'm looking at all these names. Dude, I'm gonna go with something crazy. All right.
Yeah, lay it on
do
me, man.
something crazy. Just because Aiden's not here and he would scream at me for doing this. I'm gonna go Marion Hampton. Janty's gone. I think this is like Jameer Gibbs and Bijan. You know, you go 6 and 12. I really like Marion Hampton, dude. This guy's 6'1", good size, good speed, good athleticism, good hands, dude. I don't know why people see him as much worse than Janty, but I think he's a really, really good running back. And I think they need a running back, and I think they go it.
And this is a deep running back draft, too. Taking him at 12. I mean, the Cowboys are one of the teams that's most projected to go for Ashton Genty just because they need that running back. They need something on offense besides CD and Dak. I feel like that's a little bit of a reach, but I do like Marion Hampton.
It's
as
not
a
what I would do.
prospect.
It's not what I would do, but you got Jerry Jones behind there. You know, he's probably wants a running back.
I think he
I
wants
could see them doing it. That's what I'm
Viagra.
saying.
That man's old as fuck. That man wants a retirement home.
Yeah, I could see them doing it. Is all I'm saying.
They do need a running back bad.
It's realistically the one main thing they would have to look at pick 12 there.
Yeah, I don't think he's the best player available, but I don't know. I'm trying to do different picks. You know, I don't like doing the same picks over and over again.
No, Kobe, I like the pick. I think he's a beast.
I think he's a beast.
And I mean, they have no answer at running back right now.
I think he's a beast, man.
I mean, I think Dowdle played well down the stretch, to be fair, but Hampton would be an upgrade.
Okay, so that brings us to the Dolphins. Somebody gets to go to sunny Southern Florida. And
Somebody has to go to Sonny's.
I just think this is an offensive team. They don't care if they let up 50 points. They're going to try to put up 55.
I like
I
that.
think they're a run-first team. I think they're going to
Mhm.
try to get somebody in there, some kind of blocker in the run game. And, you got absolute beast at running back, Davon A-Chain. And, I mean, I don't see many guards around here. I think you take Josh Simmons.
Yeah,
I think you take him. He's a big boy. But he's like 6'5" and get downfield.
true tackle. Yeah,
I'm, take,
he's a true
I'm
tackle.
taking him.
Plus, their starting left tackle, Teron Armstead, just reduces cap hit because he's debating retirement. And if he
Yeah,
comes back, he'd be playing on a league minimum. Shoring up with another offensive tackle would be a great pick for them.
I
I
saw
still don't
that.
understand why he did that. Why I don't know why he just gave up money.
Yeah, I don't understand. Did he push money down? I was gonna actually go too. Or
That's,
did he
that's,
just?
Zach, that's a you question, man.
Did
No,
he?
he just straight up took a pay cut. He was getting paid like $20 million a year and reduced it to the league minimum of $1.2 million.
Yeah, that
Makes
doesn't
no
make a lot of
sense to me.
sense.
The only way it makes any sense is if players retire with money still on their deal, a lot of teams have to take that as a dead cap hit. For
Hmm.
example, because Fletcher Cox and Jason Kelsey retired from the Eagles, they both carried a $10 million 10 cap hit over the next 2 seasons from when they retired. So the
So
Eagles are currently down $20 million in the cap for retired players. So if Teron Armstead were to retire, the Dolphins would have had to take a $20 million dead cap hit for his salary. So as a favor to the organization, he dropped it down.
as a
Hmm.
favor, would they have just cut him? If they cut him, would they have the 20 million cap hit?
Nah, because if he filed his retirement papers, they would have just had the $20 million cap hit. If they cut him, he still had some guaranteed money, so they would have taken probably less of a cap hit than if he straight up retired. But it
Still doesn't.
still would have been like a $10 million.
No, still doesn't make any sense. I'm not doing any favors to the owners, the guys who have billions of dollars. No,
Hey, they
Well,
got an
essentially,
A
our
plus in the NFL
ownership.
players thing. Yeah, and head
Yeah.
coach. Yeah, maybe he really likes him. I don't
Well,
know.
essentially, if he likes him, yeah, but it's essentially like he wasn't actually going to get paid that $20 million if he retired. He was fully forfeiting that. So by choosing to reduce his cap hit, he's doing them a favor if he's just not coming back.
Hmm. You'd think he'd announce it by
yeah,
now, though, wouldn't he?
They said he wanted to take him in the summer. He'd have to make a decision before OTAs, and those are starting up in about a month and a half, 2 months.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird all around. I think it's a good pick though. Josh Simmons, true tackle, ACL injury. I like these guys. I like
yeah.
hmm
drafting
What
talent.
tackle doesn't have an ACL injury?
Yeah. Colts are up though. Zach, what are your thoughts? What are you thinking?
I mean, their wide receiver room is all set. They have one of the best offensive lines in the league. Jonathan Taylor's a beast. Anthony Richardson, you got to figure it out. They have some good pieces on defense in Kwity Paye, DeForest Buckner, Grover Stewart, DJ Speed. Their linebacking room is solid. They kind of need a corner. And you see right there, they have a need at defensive back.
Hmm.
And right now, if you're looking at who's the best available, you're talking about Will Johnson, you're talking about Malachi Starks, you're talking about Jaden Barron. I think they do a corner here. I think they go ahead and they take Will Johnson out of Michigan.
Yeah, I like that pick.
It's a good
Shores up
pick.
their
It's another one of Cobby's boys.
This guy's a beast, man. He's got the size. He's got the
Michigan
speed.
got the length. I think he'll help shore up for the Colts in that division, especially when you're in a division with the Texans with Tank Dell and Nico Collins. Like you're going against Brian Thomas out of Jacksonville.
Hmm.
I think you just need to match up with those guys.
It's a good point. This guy's got the size for those type of people too. Um,
You got Calvin Ridley in Tennessee. Like you need to line up with these wide receivers. And the Colts, they have a very strong front seven. They just need to shore up the defensive backfield. So Will Johnson out of Michigan is the pick here.
yeah, he's a beast. No combine from him though. I'm a little upset, but I don't think it would have done him any favors.
lot of players skipped the combine this year,
Yeah. I mean,
which is insane.
the only people that do it is if you're going to benefit from it, if you're going to run a fast 40 or something. But yeah, I don't know. I wish more people did it, but
Everyone
that's a
does the
good
pro
pick.
days nowadays.
All right, Falcons are up. They do not draft another skill position. They draft the best pass rusher you can find. Um, I don't know who the best option is here. I'm gonna go Jalen Walker. I think he's the best. Um, it's definitely a toss up. You go Mike Green, Michael Williams. Um,
No, you can't come wrong with a Georgia boy.
yeah, even Kenneth Grant. I don't know, but I think Jalen Walker's the best of them all. He's got the most potential. They need to get after the quarterback. Um,
Yeah, they got to create some pressure on him.
yeah,
It was
Judon wasn't
pathetic
cutting it
last year.
last year. Yeah, exactly.
Are we doing the whole first round?
Yeah, why not? I've been doing the whole first round.
All right. All right, we'll speed it up. I think last week's video call was like 55 minutes, so we'll try to
Yeah, it was wild.
shave some time off there. Yeah, I
Gotta start
watched
making
it.
shorts.
All right, Cardinals here. I mean, they got to protect the quarterback a little bit. But personally, I've been taking a lot of tackles in this draft, getting a little bored. So I'm going to take a defensive guy. And I think it's got to be Michael Williams. I think he's a good player. And he's another Georgia boy, and you can't go wrong with the Georgia boys.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, me and Aiden were talking about this dude just feasted against Texas. Just feasted and beasted against Calvin Banks. Very good size, good athleticism, good strength. Edge rusher class is so deep this year.
Oh, so deep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Callie over here coughing up a lung.
Zach, you 17. You got the Bengals. This is an interesting pick too.
They need defense.
Yeah.
That's the one thing they need is just defense. Like you need somebody to stop the run. You need somebody to rush a passer, especially if Trey Hendricks is leaving. But at the
You think
same
he's
time, they
leaving?
lost Jesse Bates. I think he might leave. Like they just franchise tagged T. Higgins. Like Trey Hendrickson's probably going to demand like 25 to $30 million a year. I think he might be gone. So when you're
He
talking
seems
about
like the
Cincinnati
one.
needing defense,
Sorry, go ahead.
I think they need defense. And at that point, you have to look at the best players available defensively. And I think you're looking at a Jihad Campbell, Malachi Starks, Kenneth Grant, Nick Stroughton. Honestly, I think they're going to want to replace Hendrickson above all.
You think they let
So
him
with
go? It
that,
seems like the one bright spot of their defense. He's a top
yeah,
five pass rusher in the league.
but you have to invest that money in him when you have so many needs on the defensive line, especially with everything you're going to end up paying that offense with an extension for T. Higgins, an extension for Jamar Chase, what they've already invested in Joe Burrow.
Yeah,
It's
notoriously
just it's
cheap
just gonna be tough
owners.
for them.
Notoriously cheap
Yeah, no, you
owners.
got to.
They
I don't
let
know what
someone
they do
go.
with T. Higgins. I
They
mean, they
gotta trade him.
franchised him, but he's not
He's
going to
gonna
play
hold
on
out.
it.
Yeah,
So,
he's gonna hold out 100%. 100%. When you can make $10 more million a year, you're not gonna just play him
well, it's
that
not
again.
even that, but it's the financial security of a more long-term contract.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I hate the stupid franchise tag. But you went who, Zach?
I'm dealing with Kenneth Grant out of Michigan.
Kenneth
I
Grant.
think they
Yeah.
need somebody along that D line. They need somebody to clog
Go
up that
blue.
middle. I think
Go
that does
blue.
a lot for them.
This guy's a meatball. Fucking love Kenneth Grant, dude. He's humongous. Cam
It's a
told me last week
big.
he was like, oh, Mason Graham's white. Like I was like, yeah, you're thinking about Kenneth Grant, dude. It is kind of confusing. They both start with G, but this guy's a beast.
He's a beast. He's being compared to Dexter Lawrence. Like he could make a big impact for that defensive line.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Um, Seahawks are on the clock. want to do something, but I'm not gonna do it. How old is Gino?
Early
Uh,
30s.
I don't think they go quarterback. 34 now, not old enough.
That would be crazy if they did that.
It would be crazy. I don't think they do it. I don't think they do it. Seahawks here, there's a lot of DK rumors, but I don't think that actually happens. Seems like they need to shore up that interior line. Um, but you can move guys around. Maybe they go Tyler Booker. Um,
Out of Alabama, he's going to be really good.
yeah, I'm gonna go Tyler Booker here. I see him high a lot. Like I said, I know guards don't go that high, but it seems like when you take a guard in the first round, it's almost guaranteed just to be like an all-pro type of guy. That's what Tyler Booker kind of
And
is.
I mean, look at Quentin Nelson. Look at Zach Martin.
Hmm.
Look at um, Landon Dickerson was taken pretty high. Wasn't a first rounder, but he was taken pretty high. Like they've all turned out really good.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
all right, I'm gonna make a little surprise here with the Bucks. I mean,
Make a splash. Make a splash, Effie.
I think Chris Godwin's walking. I don't think he's gonna be back next year.
He's
And I think
limping.
they're gonna take a receiver here. And I think the receiver that's kind of shocked me a little bit here. I think it's gonna be a Mecca Abuka.
Oh, I thought you were
I
going
like.
golden. All
Ooh.
right, Emeka Buka.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
I like it too.
I think he ran what a 4.3 at the combine. Good route runner, good
I think that was
hands.
Matt Golden. I don't know. What did he
Matt
run?
Maybe.
Golden ran like a four. Matt Golden ran a 4.29.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. I think it was low. Let's see. He ran a. He ran a 4.
4-4.
No, that's in high school. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'll get back to you on the 40 time, but no, he ran a 4.340.
4-3.
4.340. He's in the 97 percentile of that.
I didn't know he was that fast.
He's
Yeah,
fast as fuck.
seems like he just
Yeah,
keeps
no, I
getting
think.
overshadowed by a different receiver, but he's good.
So yeah, that's the pick. I mean, you got Jalen McMillan, you got Mike Evans. Now you got a Mecca Buka too.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the pick.
Another weapon for Baker Mayfield.
Yeah,
I like it too. All right, pick number 20 for the Broncos. I'm just running this right up to the podium. It's Tyler Warren, tight end out of Penn State.
Yeah, no,
I like it. I like
I
it.
think
I
that's a
love this
good
pick.
pick.
I love this pick.
Yeah,
Sean Payton went to the media the other day, said he was looking for a joker on offense, somebody who can do like the Taysom Hill role that he had in New Orleans to do a little bit of everything. Tyler Warren went viral at Penn State for everything he could do. They have a need at tight end, and frankly, Sean Payton coached Jimmy Graham in New Orleans. Like he knows what a good tight end can do for a prolific offense. I think bringing that piece in will really shore up everything they're doing. Like they got Cortland Sutton, they got Troy Franklin, they got Mims, a wide receiver. I think he shores up everything they're trying to do on offense.
Yeah,
yeah.
I
No,
agree.
definitely had to demand that offense. Only down thing I did hear he has small hands, but who cares?
Yeah, but okay, yeah. I mean, dude's a beast, dude. There's so much you can do with him. He's in Wildcat, bro. He's blocking. He's receiving. He's a great route runner. So much you can do with them. I love Tyler Warren.
I do.
Really
I
do.
think that's the perfect pick here.
I do. I do too. If he falls this late, absolutely. Um, I'm making a splash. The only reason I didn't go QB at Seahawks because I wanted to do Shador at the Steelers. So I'm gonna go Shador here. They did this.
Ooh.
They did this maybe 5 years ago with Kenny Pickett. They used a late first rounder on him or mid first rounder. Um, they're just gonna let him fall to him. Why not? They don't even know what they're doing at quarterback right now. Who's walking? Who's staying? Just get a young guy in there. That's what I think they do. You got
Yeah,
no
I don't
line.
mean. It's a splash.
You
and
got an
bring
O
a lot
line. You
of
got
excitement.
receivers. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead, Zach.
I was gonna say it would bring a lot of excitement and attention. I feel like Shadur has a very outspoken personality. I feel like Mike Tomlin's the right type of coach to kind of tone that down and, keep him straight and narrow,
Mm-hmm.
paying attention, hitting the butts, doing everything he needs to do.
Yeah. Absolutely. You got You got that terrorist at OC. What's his name?
Oh, are you talking about Arthur Smith?
Yeah. I hate that guy.
Terrorist.
I hate him so much. But you know what? He might be better than I think he is. Steelers go
Yeah.
Shador. That's my point. He slips
As
this
long as
week.
you don't have Bijan on your fantasy team, he's a great. He's not a great. He's a good offensive coordinator.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, coming up on the Chargers. I think they go running back here. I mean, I think Dobbins. I think he's a free agent now, right? I mean, they could bring him back, but I think you got to get some fresh legs in there. And I think it's Judkins.
Judkins,
I,
yeah.
I think I'm going Judkins with this pick. I think that's right where they want to be. He's a good back. You know,
I can
good
see
guy
them going
for
running back.
good guy for Harbaugh to get his hands on, and that's what they want to do. They want to run the ball.
Yeah, yeah. I can see them going Judkins. Dude's a beast.
But
He's
loves a
such a
good
hard
running
runner.
back. But do you think Harbaugh has the stomach in him to draft a running back out of Ohio State?
I think I
It's
don't
actually
care.
true. He's getting rid of fucking Joey Bosa. He's like, this Ohio State chum. Get him out of my team.
He's not a winner.
He's not a winner. All right. Zachary, Green Bay. This is an interesting pick, too.
There's been a lot of talk about Jair Alexander leaving the team. That if he were to get traded or moved, Green Bay needs to shore up their cornerback spot. It says their biggest need is wide receiver because they need a true number one receiver, but they have a lot of young, really good number twos and threes. I feel like if you take another wide receiver here, I feel like that just adds to the problem rather
Yeah,
than bringing in a bona fide number one such as Devontae Adams.
I agree.
At which point, you need to bring in the best available corner to replace Jair Alexander. I think that's Jada Barron out of Texas.
I agree. Very similar play styles, too, I feel like. Other than the talking.
Mm-hmm.
I like Jade Barron, though. You stole the Thorpe alert from Travis Hunter. He's legit, man.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of
He's a really good
interceptions.
corner.
Yeah, he's gonna get a lot of turnovers for you.
And before we move on to the Vikings, breaking news out of the NBA, Kyrie Irving helped the locker room with an apparent knee injury after
No.
drilling both free throws while injured.
Yeah. Kind
Oh,
of
did he
feel
hit?
bad. I feel bad for the Mavs. Not really Kyrie, but the Mavs.
I feel bad for the fans, but
Getting rid of Luka and bringing in AD. Gotta hurt them.
it's gonna curse them. It's gonna be like a fucking. Oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah, that is too bad.
So gross. I was actually gonna get Miguel on here to talk NBA. He said he was gonna hop on, but
Yeah, a little NBA talk.
I guess he didn't want to join. I don't know. Didn't respond. All right, Vikings are on the clock. I think this is this Drew?
No, Kobe, I think this is you, right?
Oh, this is me. My apologies. Yeah, I can't do math. Wow. The running backs are gone. I've been going running back a lot for the Vikings. Their O line is so good. They might just go best player available here. This is a tough pick. Nick Manowari. I don't even know how to say it right. He had a monster combine. Absolute monster combine. Maybe they go Malachi Starks. Walter Nolan. I'm gonna go Walter Nolan here.
Walter Nolan.
Out of
Yeah,
Okay.
Ole Miss.
I don't think he falls this late in the draft. But I really like this guy. He's got all the talent in the world. He was the number one prospect in high school. He gets production. Um, he's a beast.
All right. Texans. Now, I do think they take a wide receiver here. I mean, you got Tank Dell, who's, I don't know when he's going to be back next year. You're losing Diggs. Right, they're losing Diggs. Is that official?
He's going to be a free agent, but there's been no talk about whether he'd be leaving or whether he'd be coming back.
All right. Either way, he's coming off what? Is it an ACL and Achilles? It's something down there.
It's an
ACL.
ACL. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, Luther Burden, he's been dropping a little bit, but, I mean, I don't know how you pass him up in this spot if you're the Texans. I mean, he's a
Yeah.
good receiver. Aiden can tell you all about him. I think he's burned him a couple times.
Yeah. No, I really fuck with Luther Burden. He's got the yak ability that you really want. Um, he doesn't have a lot of production. He only had like a lot of 600 yards this year, but he had like maybe the worst quarterback like I've ever seen. um, he's a beast though. I really fuck with Luther Burden.
So yeah, we're gonna go Luther Burden here with the 25th pick.
All right, sounds good. This is now look at this, Zach. You got the Niners, the Rams, and did you get the Pats? No, you
I
didn't
got,
get
I
the
got the
Pats.
Pats.
No, I was gonna say you got all his three teams, but no,
Ugh,
you
I'm enjoying it. I'm
got.
loving it.
What do your
All right.
Rams do here, Zach?
I mean, there's a lot of talk about them losing Cooper Cup. Tyler Higbee has not been healthy all that recently, and if you're trying to make one last run with Stafford over these next couple of years, you need another weapon. Um, I really don't know if you're going to take a receiver here. Like Golden is good, but that's a little, it's a little bit of a risk. He might be one of those guys who shined at the combine, but doesn't necessarily transfer over right away. You could look at Xavier Restrepo out of Miami. You could look at Tez Johnson out of Oregon, Isaiah Bond. I don't necessarily see them going that way. The only other weapon with a first round grade left available is Colston Loveland out of
Mm,
Michigan. I think he slots in as a true Y tight end for them and can really show something with Stafford. Stafford hasn't really had a good tight end since Eric Ebron back in Detroit.
Eric
So I
All
think
right.
Ebron.
that's something they can
Holy
do
smoly.
and go with Colston Loveland.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I don't hate the pick. Higbee's getting old. I think Higbee's what, 34? I don't know, something up there.
yeah. I
He's
love
been
Colson
injured.
Loveland, man. I don't think he falls out of the first round. One of these teams had to pick him.
No,
He's
he's a good
yeah.
good player. A lot of Michigan boys going here in the first round.
Yeah, they got a lot
How
of
good?
first round
They
talent.
they had a good team this year, right, Cobby? Hit the playoffs now.
They won the games that mattered.
Yeah, yeah,
The best
they
eight
beat
and five team of all time. I'll say that.
beat Ohio State.
And
Didn't they beat
Alabama.
Bowl? Yeah,
Ohio State, Alabama, Michigan State. They won all the important ones. And you know what? It's enough for me. But yeah, Colson Loveland, basically just a big ass wide receiver. I like that pick.
good pick. Good pick.
27, the Ravens. A lot of tackle talk that they're going to lose some old linemen in free agency. Um, Zach, you think it happens?
I think Ronnie Stanley could leave. I know they love him, but at this point, they've been dealing with his injuries for a couple of years. Do they really want to invest $20 million in a left tackle with injury history when you're running behind uh, Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson? Or
Mm-hmm.
would you go for a younger option that could potentially be good for your team moving forward? Especially
Mm-hmm.
with the contract Lamar's on. When you have quarterbacks on big contracts like that, $50 million plus a year, you kind of need to get cheap with the weapons you put around them and invest in good young talent. So I think that could be an option they look at.
Yeah. I don't know if Josh Connerly is the best player available though. Mike Green's out here. They're in a tough division. Um, I'm gonna go Mike Green.
Yep,
Um,
Mr. Sackboy.
yeah, get 17 sacks last season. I know he's in a shit conference, but he's a beast. He did it in the Senior Bowl against real talent. I haven't looked at his combine yet. I don't know what it was, but I really fuck with Mike Green.
Yeah, and next we got the Lions, and I mean they can really go anywhere here. I mean, solid team, not too many holes. Yeah, I mean, I think probably go on the defensive side of things. I mean, you kind of got a bunch of guys here. I'll go Derek Harmon. You know, really beef up the inside.
Derek Harmon.
They're a
Yep.
team that wants to run it down your mouth. If you can run it down the mouth and stop their run game, that's a good little combination there.
Yeah, you
I
can
like
never go
that.
wrong. Yeah, you can never go
This
wrong
is a
with D
big
line.
boy, 310 pounds. Stick him in there.
I like that pick.
All right, the Washington Commanders, who just traded for Debo Samuel, that essentially takes care of their offense if they resign Zach Ertz or figure out another weapon offensively in free agency. They have Brian Robinson, a running back. You could probably use an improvement there, maybe a Travion Henderson, but I just don't think that's where they go. And I think they have to invest in defense. Dan Quinn, defensive coach. Their best pass rusher last year was really Dante Fowler on a 1 year deal. I don't know if they're going to bring him back. I think you need to go with the best edge left available. And I think that's Nick Stoughton out of Texas A&M, who's a big edge rusher, can get after the quarterbacks in that division. Like you're playing in a division with Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts. Like you kind of need to be able to get to them and get through those offensive lines. So I think
Yeah,
Stoughton's the pick here.
yeah. You can't let the Eagles hang fucking 55 on you, dude. So I agree. You
In
Yeah,
gotta
the
get after
NFC
that quarterback.
Championship game.
Yeah, I agree.
I like big boy.
Oh, the Bills. The Bills, the Bills, the Bills. I heard rumors that they might trade for Myles Garrett, which I think would be a perfect fit for both of them. It's just like a match made in heaven. Um, I could see
30th
them
pick would
going.
be good value.
Yeah, Matthew Golden had a really good combine. Um, Chad Campbell is still falling. Malachi Starks. Oh my God, they could go so many different ways here. Um, I'm gonna count on them to make the wrong decision, and I'm gonna go Matthew Golden out of Texas. Maybe he proves me
Maybe he could
wrong. I
be
don't know.
something.
Maybe he does prove me wrong. I didn't think he was 4.29 fast, but I don't. I don't.
No, but didn't he run like a? Oh no, it's the other Texas guy.
Isaiah Bond.
Yeah, Isaiah
Yeah,
Bond.
the other
I'm
Texas
gonna
guy.
run a
Say he was running.
4.1. I'm gonna run a 4.1. Runs a 4.4. Fuck out of here,
Oh,
dude.
okay, so this guy actually was fast. Yeah, no, I did see him.
Yeah. Um. I don't know. I don't believe in guys that show up for like 6 games at the end of their career. Like that's all he was. Nobody knew him till like 6 games left into his career. So I don't know.
All right, Chiefs pick, defending AFC champion, but man, do they have some problems in the Super Bowl defending the rush. So I think you got to share up that offensive line here. Why
Yeah.
not take big 6'6" Gray Zabel, North Dakota State? He's got the name, he's got the height,
He's got the name.
and he rehab him.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
I
been
like
shooting
this
up
guy.
draft boards too. I like
Yeah.
this pick.
He's a big dude. They need O line.
They need some help there.
Yeah, they got exposed for sure.
Now,
Is it?
what the hell do the Philadelphia Eagles do
Yeah.
at 32?
This is kind of the same
They
thing as
are,
the Lions. Like they just anything's extra.
yeah, like, and they're really kind of set at every position that could be drafted here. Unless they lose Zach Bond in free agency, at which point, if Jihad Campbell's available here, you take him as the best off ball linebacker that you can put in there, put him next to Kobe Dean. But I don't think they're going to do that. I think they have to look at their roster, look at who's getting old, and kind of fill in potential replacements. Like that's kind of how they built this roster currently. Like they drafted Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter for when Fletcher Cox retired. They brought in Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens, planning for Brandon Brooks to retire, planning for Jason Kelsey to retire. I think you need to kind of think along that line and
Hmm.
see who's close to retiring. The oldest player on their team, realistically, is Lane Johnson. You're going to have to fill that right tackle spot eventually. So I think with this bit at the end of the draft, they're going to go with Josh Connolly out of Oregon. Best
Yeah.
offensive tackle available. A good swing tackle if Mailata or Lane Johnson go down with injuries, and could be seen as the eventual long-term replacement for him.
Yeah. I actually like that. You can never go wrong with drafting a tackle. Um, I do like that pick.
Oh, good pick. Good pick.
It's just like Jesus Christ, like they need more O line help. Like let other people eat. It's fucking terrible. No, this was good though. This is a good draft. This was a lot different than a lot of my others. A lot of different picks. That's exactly what I'm
Ash
looking
and
for.
Jakey going early.
Yeah, yeah.
Though that I'm kind of looking at it as a whole here. I think that was a Cobby pick.
It was a
Yeah,
Cobby
it
pick.
was.
I drafted a couple running backs, Shanty and Hampton.
Yeah. No, I think this was a good draft.
I like it.
Yeah. Thanks for getting
I mean,
on, guys.
there'll be a lot more trades when the thing actually goes down.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
what do we have?
exactly.
Month and a half. I think it's end of April.
Yeah, I gotta pay for premium, dude. I can't afford that.
And maybe we'll all pitch in for your Cobby.
No,
We'll
I
all
appreciate
pitch
it.
in.
Yeah, I appreciate it. No, thanks for hopping on, guys. It's a lot better doing it with people than alone.
Oh my goodness, Cobby! I can
Hmm.
only imagine doing so many mock drafts alone, and eventually you're just playing simulations in your head.
No, we get to get on and talk a little. So, all right, I'm gonna see you guys and let you guys go to bed and whatever you have to do.
All right, hey, good mock draft
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah, I'll
Good
see
Waiting
you.
mock
on.
draft Monday.
Jag.
All right, see you,
Thank
boys.
you.